All right, so welcome to Jury Duty. We're not going to get into introductions or anything like that because we already did that on the socials. But I'm Kyle Petty, and I'm joined with John Dunphy and Gina Morgino, and we're just going to jump right in. All right, so first impressions of people that we saw on the premiere. Let's go. Who do we start with? I'm gonna start with Christian because he's bae. Okay. I have never seen eyes that are bluer and hair that is more pretty and an ass to die for. Christian, we're here for it. Give him the whole 750,000. I'm here for it.
I do like Christian.
Of course you like Christian. Of course you like Christian. What's not to like?
This is such a weird start to this season. I feel like it has a very different vibe. I think it started, and I think we all talked about this actually. Like, I just felt like this premiere like had a different feel to it, and I like really loved it. Like, I thought the layout of the show was great, and it like moved at such a good pace. Because I feel like in the past with all the intros that they would do in like their hometowns, it would take forever to get through these things.
But, yeah, because we were dealing like with these like 2-night premieres, so just
right.
like just
and
exhausting.
Exactly. And I thought that these like little 4 short intros and then a comp and then 4 short intros and a comp and like that like whole setup was awesome. I thought it was
I also think it was like it was really helpful to break up a lot of the dead air by having them pre-record DRs to like put in the middle of the competition, so it wasn't just us staring at people playing these games and nothing else happening.
Yeah, I know. I like that. And I like jumping into a competition. What I also love about this premiere is the fact that we're starting off with teams, because it's been no secret that like these past few seasons of Big Brother have not really like lived up to par, like in my opinion, because they were dealing with these larger alliances that, yes, they're playing the game well enough that they make it to the end, but that's not interesting TV for us. So by separating 16 people into groups of 4, we've already gotten rid of that large dominating alliance. Right. And now we're looking at smaller people that are forced to work with each other, even if they didn't want to. And I think that's so delicious. And the picking of the teams was absolutely fantastic because we didn't know anything. So you're really picking people based off of nothing, which I thought was fantastic. No, I loved it. I loved everything about this premiere.
And I just love, because every premiere we listen to these house guests and how like they have this plan, this strategy, this is what I'm going to do. And then this team thing gets thrown in and it's like, all right, none of you, not a single one of you now has a strategy.
None of them, because isn't that what, I don't want to say her name wrong, but Asa,
yeah,
you know, the queen from Cameroon, because she said, oh, my goal was to get out the person who wins the first one. I guess that's over because he's on my team. And I love hearing that. P.S. She's got beautiful skin.
She's gorgeous.
She is gorgeous. Who else? So Claire, our alternate. What do we think?
My girl from Astoria, Team Claire.
I know you were really happy to see that. I heard.
She got to rep the hometown.
Yeah.
I like Claire, and I think that I feel like we don't know her as well, because I feel like the show did a good job of like really promoting all the house guests on social media prior to the premiere. I think
I like that too. A lot
of ways to get to know them, which really helped with not having the long intros during the premiere to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But Claire,
it made it so worth it. It's so worth it.
Absolutely. But Claire, because she was an alternate, she didn't get as much of that like social media promotion as the rest of them. So like, I felt like we didn't really know her that well going into it, but after the first couple episodes, I liked her a lot.
Well, I was going to say, one thing that I did learn about Claire, I don't remember if they put this in the cut or anything, or if this is just like pre-season talk that I heard, but she has like a huge booklet that she typed up of like all past seasons, things that went well, things didn't go well, like studied the game for years and years and years, and has this like big master plan of the way that she wants to play. And that, compared to the fact that she is in like computer science and stuff like that, I just think she's going to be really smart, and she's going to have like a really good lock on the house.
Yeah, I like that. I didn't know any of that. How did you find that out?
I pay attention to preseason chatter, okay?
Yeah,
I was ready.
I think Claire's going to be a really smart player. I think she's going to be good.
Do you know who I think is going to be smart? And this is based off of nothing. I just get a very intelligent vibe from her. Brittany.
I like Brittany a lot.
I like her a lot. I know there's just something about her smile and the way she seems to carry herself, like that. I don't know. There's a warmth to her that I'm enjoying already, and like I don't know. That's somebody I want to get to know more.
Yeah. So we talked about Frenchie and Christian, who are 2 of the 4 team captains. We
We
mentioned
didn't really talk about
Frenchie?
we didn't talk about Frenchie. We did not talk about Frenchie.
No.
And
Oh my God, I'm so
there's a
happy
lot to get into with Frenchie, and I think that we should say
Slippery slope.
because like
Here's
I
the
have a
thing.
lot to say, and I don't watch the feeds.
No.
There's just
There's
so
much I want to
There's
say
so
about
much.
Frenchie, and that's why I think we should get to the rest of the captains first. So who else do we have? We've got
So,
Whitney.
Claire, we got Christian. Do we talk about Whitney?
We
We
didn't
haven't
talk
talked
about
about
Whitney,
Whitney.
and I want to talk about her. Let me tell you something. That girl makes me want to explore my bisexuality even more, okay? Because she is really something else. That girl, when I first saw her like on the socials, I was like, whatever, like she's fine. When we got her intro, I don't know, I was really, really digging it. And now she's captain, she's comp beast.
See, I don't feel great about Whitney. I don't know. I don't feel good about it.
She's girl bae. She's girl bae. What are you talking about? Why don't you feel great about Whitney? I thought she was a good sport. As soon as she lost the HOH, she ran over to Frenchie, gave him a good hug. Could have been good gameplay, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe she's genuine. Because I also don't, in the nicest way possible, I don't get the impression that she's smart enough to realize that what she did was also a game move by being super nice to the new HOH.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't think in that moment she would have thought that way. And that's what made me like her.
I don't know. I can't articulate what it is. I just get a weird vibe. I don't know.
Okay,
So
all right. Well, what day is this? July 12th. It says no good. Let's see if that holds up August 12th. All right, bookmark it. John writing the book. August 12th, we're going to check in with Gina, see what she says about Miss
Kyle
Whitney.
or Gina, let's go.
I feel like Whitney for me is like the perfect example of like how I still don't know how to feel about so many of these people.
Well, of
And
course, it's very early.
It's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's so early. So like, obviously, it takes more than 2 episodes to form opinions on these people.
Sure.
But I feel like there's always been at least 1 or 2 people that I was like, that person's like a complete jerk. You know what I mean? Like they just seem very
Right.
cool.
And I think, and honestly, I love that you brought that stuff because I feel like that really brings us into the Frenchie conversation.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was bringing up.
It really does. Yeah. Yeah,
And-
let's start chatting about Frenchie because I feel like Gina's going to be able to tell us a whole lot more.
Oh, I'm overwhelmed by how much has happened over the last couple of days.
I can't wait.
I'm so ready. Okay. So, I feel like it's kind of like what I was saying before, right? Like every night on premiere night, like maybe you've seen pictures of the cast, gotten to know them a little bit on social media, but premiere night, you finally get to hear them talk and see them in their hometown, right? And I feel like you always get 1 or 2 people that's like a real jerk, somebody that's really full of themselves, and even maybe even will admit that part of their strategy is to like go after weaker players and all this kind of stuff, right? Like just people that like you're like, okay,
just in general, just like be a douche.
This is a villain on the show. And what's funny is that there was nobody that when I saw the cast list for the first time and like saw these people, there was nobody that I really felt like, I didn't like, except for Frenchie for some reason. And I still cannot put my finger on it because I'm obviously like, I'm not the type of person that likes to judge a book by its cover or anything, but there was just something about Frenchie. And I immediately, when I saw his picture, I said to you, Kyle, I said, I'm not going to like this man. I don't know why. I'm not going to like this man. And then we watched the premiere, and everybody's intros I thought were great. I thought everybody came across as like a pretty good, decent person, right? Nobody really stuck out as like kind of like a mean-spirited person or anything.
Uh-huh.
And I felt like I was wrong. I judged Frenchie wrong. And then he got the HOH, and I've watched the last couple episodes, and
It's all been downhill from there.
Just the fact that you came after Christian, who is bae. Like, I was done already. Like, Frenchie can't do anything right as far as I'm concerned. I'm done. I'll never like Frenchie again. You came after my man. I'm done.
Gina, when you started to tell us about what was going on in the live feeds with Frenchie, like, it was so much worse than I could have ever expected. Like going onto the feed and watching this man like frantically run from room to room, like less than 30 seconds.
Stop! I can't wait.
I'm fully amazed at how much he really set himself up in the perfect spot and then threw it away so quickly.
I mean, not 36 hours into the season, he's walking around the house. I have never lied to anyone. I've always stuck to my word. I'm like, dude, you've known these people for a day, and then telling all the girls that they're safe, and you know, and like making all these promises, and like.
And again, there is so much that the episode did not tell you.
Who was he targeting? He was targeting Christian. He was targeting Brent, who also
meatheads. He
kept Brent
meatheads.
All right, let me just talk about how hot Brent is. Because like Christian is bae, but Brent is definitely backup bae.
See what you were saying.
In case we lose Christian.
What you were saying earlier about like you read the bios, you see the people, and there's always that one person that you're like, not gonna like him. For me, that was Brent. The moment I saw this man, I said, uh-oh. I saw his headshot and his little bio on the website, and I said, no, not this.
Well, how do you feel now?
I mean, he hasn't really done enough for me to feel either way.
So Frenchie told us that there would not be a person of color going up this week, and there would not be a female going up.
Was that in the episode, or was that...
No, I found that on BB.
Okay. I was going to say, I was watching the episode like, interesting that they cut this out because this is a big piece of the puzzle here.
Well, of course they cut that out.
I do think that the episode kind of made it seem, though, like that all the girls seemed like they had like pretty much been assured by him. Like they didn't.
Oh, the girls felt real good. The girls felt real good.
Yeah. Oh no, here's the problem right off the bat.
Yeah, please tell me what the problem is. I need to know.
What I was saying before about like looking into these people preseason. One of the first things that I learned about Frenchie is that he is a known member of like BB Stan Twitter. So right off the bat, I said, uh-oh. And I because I knew even before going into the house that his issue was going to be, he knows what everybody wants to be seeing and doesn't want to be seeing. So he's going to go in thinking about the live feeds and trying to like pander to what everybody else is going to want him to say, rather than focusing on what's going to be best for his game. And we immediately, night one, I didn't even realize from the feeds until I watched the episode that he had promised safety to Travis. That wasn't something that I knew about.
Travis?
Because he had said in the episode, the first 4 people in the house that he competed with, he promised all of them safety, like right off the bat, as soon as they were done when he won that first part of the competition.
So who else? So who did he compete with then?
So he was with Derek F., Travis, and Xavier.
Yes.
Okay, so he promised safety.
During the competition.
Okay, that makes so much sense because I kept wondering like why. Because as he's going on this whole tirade about I don't like meatheads, like this person I'm going after this one. I'm like I don't understand how Xavier was exempt.
Right.
Well, he's got a great ass, so I'm fine with it. But I don't know why he's exempt. There's certain people I don't know why they were left out of it.
Sure.
Now that makes so much sense. Because Travis, why is Travis any less a meathead than Christian?
Right. So even before they moved into the house, before there was an HOH, before any of that, he had already promised 3 people safety should he win HOH. Then we move into the house. We move into the house and feeds come up like 4 hours after the episode, and I'm watching him run from room to room to room. And when he can't just like say things, he has to give this big Game of Thrones battle cry speech for everything he's doing because it's for the feeds, obviously. But he's like telling all the women, not on my watch. Never will a woman touch the block as long as I'm in this house. So, all right, well, now you've knocked out half of the house to be nominated. Great. Then 10 minutes after that, he's loudly going around telling everybody season 21 was the worst thing I've ever seen. If I was in that house, that never would have happened. No people of color will go up on the block.
Season 21. That was
Jack and Mickey.
Season. Not my
goal. So season 21 was the worst season. If I was in the house, that would never happen. No people of color will go up on the block as long as I'm HOH. So now you have narrowed it down to 2 people that you can nominate. Mind you, it is night 1. You are set up in the perfect place where you can nominate any random person for any reason, and it does not matter because you have no way of knowing anything about these people. So he's narrowed himself down to 2 people, which technically at some point he may have to nominate 3 depending on the veto.
Right.
And he's also now told his plan to the entire house and showed all of his cards. And he has given up all of the power of being HOH, because the whole point is that people are going to come to you and make deals and connect with you to try to make sure that you're going to keep them safe and they have somewhere to go further in the game. But he promised everybody safety before knowing them, so everyone went, oh, sick, I'm done. And no one tried to include him on their alliances or their plans.
Oh,
so,
sick.
Night one, bad move.
Watching him walk back into the house and saying, like, don't worry, you're safe. Don't worry, you're safe. And it's like, how would you say that to anyone? Yeah. You don't know anybody.
Not a single conversation had with any person.
No. How can you tell people not to worry? How could you tell them that?
He seemed like he had lost it. He seemed like he had lost the way he was running around the house and the way he was talking to everybody. He seemed like he had just lost it. And like, I'm just realizing we're still only like a few days in. Like, I can't.
This all happened night one.
Yeah,
hours after they moved in.
Like I feel like he looked like it reminded me of like a dog chasing a car. Like you're never gonna catch it. Like you're never gonna catch it. Like it wasn't even. It's not even clear like what he was even doing.
Well, he was trying to play so big so fast. Like I even heard him talking at one point about, because originally his target was Brent. And the reason why his target was Brent was because when they were all doing their intros of like, hi, I'm this person and I do this job and I'm this old, Brent had mentioned to them that he can speak Italian, and he started speaking Italian, but all of the girls in the room, their faces lit up. So we got to get rid of Brent. All the girls love him. Got to get rid of, can't do it. No.
He was going off like such small things to go after Christian because he's hanging out with Alyssa. I almost feel like part of it was like Frenchie, like when he won HOH on the first night, that was the worst possible thing that could have happened for him. Because like, yeah, great. He's the HOH and now he's like just gone crazy this week. But like, if he didn't win HOH, it's like, okay, I'm just another house guest. But now that he did win HOH, that first night, he was the man, like it was a big night. It's the premiere. He's the first HOH. He was the man. And now it's a couple days later. Maybe people aren't feeling so good about him being HOH. And he's promised everything to everyone. And now he's had to go back on these promises he's made. And like, it's just becoming HOH. I'm sure it felt great for him in that moment. But like, that was the worst possible thing that could have happened for his game, I think. Unless there's some miracle that that helps him and keeps him in the game.
He's also just trying to play way too hard, way too fast to make good TV. Because also, I had seen a conversation between him and somebody, I don't remember who it was, but he was talking about his master plan for the week when he was coming after Brent. And his whole thing was, okay, it's going to be great. I'm going to ask Brent to help me write the speech when I'm nominating people, and when I'm nominating, like who I'm putting up, I'm going to ask him to help me write my big speech. But what he doesn't know is that I'm going to use that speech to put him up and backdoor him. And it's going to be the eulogy to Dan's funeral. And that's going to be my big thing. We were like, honey, it's day one. How are you planning this big, crazy backdoor scheme on the first day? The only reason that Brent stopped becoming the target was because they had that conversation in the HOH when he realized, oh, I prejudged you. And now he has a final two with Brent. They're best friends.
Wait. Because that's not what we saw last night.
No, he is going around telling everybody that Brent... He's going around telling everybody, Brent is my best friend. We have a bromance going on. He's my best friend. He's my final two. He's my ride or die.
So what about Big D? Big D out already, left out in the wind.
It's a mess.
Gracious. We need Farmer Bay out. This is a mess.
Also,
this is a mess.
I just have to say it. The whole like Farmer Bay, he does not talk like that. I don't know what is happening in his DRs with this like accent and these crazy expressions. I watched him on the feeds. I was like, this is not the same man. Why are you talking like that? I'm just so confused. I'm like, who is this character that you're playing?
Wait, so who do you think him to be? Who do you think him to be?
I think he's trying to play like the cute Southern, like crazy, woo, we don't know what's going to happen character of like this zany, like fun guy. But he's actually just like, that's just not his personality at all on the feeds.
I'm taking away Farmer Bay designation because I don't like how he's behaving because he came after Real Bay. So Farmer Bay is dead.
And again, the only reason he's coming after Christian is because he perceived that he's in a showmance with Alyssa, which he is not.
Right. That was so bizarre to me. Like they were standing in the kitchen together, and Frenchie like happened to walk by and he like saw them talking to each other in the kitchen and was like,
he's like, oh, I have to break this up.
Yeah, they're on the same team. They're gonna have to talk at some point.
Right. It's like, oh my God, these two people are eating lunch together. Get them the hell out of here.
It's like, wild.
Well, Kyland is also on the block. Do we have any thoughts of him?
I like Kyland.
He's been a fan favorite preseason. A lot of people are really liking Kyland.
Oh, really? And why is that? Based on what?
Seems like a jovial man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about him. I thought that I saw some nail polish on him when he was cooking something in the kitchen, and I thought that I liked that, obviously.
I'd like to hear some more about Kyland and like what the fans are feeling about him.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally haven't really seen enough of him to really know either way. Right. He has on the feeds, I have seen him getting pretty close to Derek X. And he does seem to be considered a pawn as far as Frenchie is concerned, as of what we've seen so far.
Right.
But
interesting to see what might come with the veto.
To me, it just looks like, I don't want to say he's floating because it's too early in the game to really say anything like that. But it just like, he's kind of laying low right now, which I don't think is a bad thing, but it doesn't give me enough to really form an opinion either way.
Okay, that's fair. And I think he should lay low right now with his own block.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm getting upset because people both in the house and outside the house keep referring to Alyssa as Sis 2.0. And it's really irking me because she's actually been doing
Sis is an Annalise?
Annalise, yeah. Everybody's equating, even Frenchie. Frenchie's been calling her Annalise 2.0 all week. And I don't get it. Like, just because she's like a really pretty girl, but like, she's been playing really well. She's been making her connections with everybody. She's been campaigning for herself pretty hard. It's like a night and day in terms of gameplay.
Right, because like his Annalise, if we're going to be honest, like she really just like did nothing.
Nothing.
I feel bad for Alyssa. Like seeing that tweet on Big Brother Twitter. Oh my God, my heart breaks for her. The Big Brother.
Especially like he was really cozying up to her, like, we're going to be buddy. We're going to be aligned. It's going to be great. Like, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. And she went, great.
Yeah. And it's just so wild to look at the Big Brother feed because they have that picture, Kyle, that you were describing. And like, they just write here, when you promise safety to everyone in the house, you're going to have to betray one of them. Do you think the BB23 house guests will ever trust Frenchie again? And then, a few hours before that, they're saying, so much for keeping a promise. How do you think Frenchie's changed of heart will impact this game? Like, the Twitter feed is, just like...
They're not being kind.
About Frenchie. It's unbelievable.
As somebody who, before he was ever on the show, has been a member of the Twitter community, that man is in for a very rude awakening when he comes back to the real world.
Listen, I hope he's...
It hasn't even been a week. It hasn't even been a week. I don't know that he's going to make it, like, to jury.
Oh, I highly doubt it.
Frenchie's my odds-on favorite to be out next week. I honestly, at this point, I don't know if I can take another week. I don't think I can take another possibility of him being in the house long enough to like become HOH again and possibly.
Whoa!
Every time,
that might be going a little bit too far. Like I don't know.
I don't know.
Kyle,
I definitely.
If you watch these feeds, man, this is
every time I turn the feeds on and hear his voice, I get violently angry. I just can't do it anymore.
I felt uncomfortable through the screen.
I have never in my life seen self-sabotage like this. It's absurd. And the craziest thing is, in a normal season, feeds aren't up week one. Like, feeds don't come in until like around the time of like later on in the HOH. We would have missed all of this.
So what do we think is going to happen, like, as the week goes forward?
I know. I'm so interested to see this veto. Like,
I have to ask our feed queen then. So from what you've seen, if somebody comes off the block, like, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah.
It's already happened. They've already had the veto meeting. It happened earlier today.
Oh God. Well, let's just avoid this.
I'll keep my mouth shut for this segment. I mean, we do need to discuss that nomination speech.
Oh my God.
What is his speech? Can't even say that I retained any of it.
You really don't remember? How do you not remember this speech?
I don't remember the speech. I just remember looking at Tommy and saying like, "Oh my gosh!" I'm like, "See, look at this. This is why I missed the nomination wheel." That's the only thing I remember saying. I was like, "This is whack." He goes, "Oh, it's so much easier for them to carry." I was like, "No, that was part of it." Like I loved watching little Brittany come down with the freaking wheel, like having like such a hard time. Like I enjoyed that. So like no, like this is definitely lacking. No, so what did Farmer Bay have to say?
You know, last night he had a dream that he caught a big fish, and to catch a big fish, he needs the perfect bait.
I don't remember this at all.
It really was just one of the worst.
But to get the big fish,
really
what is that like? Why trying to justify why he put Alyssa up?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's trying to get it back.
It honestly, it was like really the cherry on top to like, well, to only the second episode of Frenchie.
At that point, he had been in the house for maybe 24 hours.
Well, you see that,
and like they put it into perspective, like that too is also disturbing.
That's the thing too, because like it feels longer because like we
watched on Wednesday and then we didn't see them again until Sunday.
Right.
Yeah, and between some of the stuff that I did see on the live feeds, it almost feels like it's more than just 2 episodes. But like the premiere was 90 minutes. This one was an hour, right? The show's been on for like 2.5 hours.
If they were trying to include all of the madness of this HOH, they would have to put in like 2 bonus episodes this week. There was just so much happening.
I have to say, the premiere was great, but just in general, the second episode I thought was really good too. I really like the feel of this season. As crazy as Frenchie is, it's been I guess entertaining. I mean, he's crazy, but like it's been somewhat entertaining. I like pretty much everybody else in the cast, and like I just it's only 2 episodes in, but I like it.
What do we think about the wild card competition? That's a fun twist. That's a fun twist. So what do we have here? We have we have a representative from each team who we think might be in danger. We're letting them compete for a chance for safety. And then they additionally get to spin a wheel and find out who else from their team they would like to exempt from danger. Like super, super fun. We've never seen this before. And what did you guys think about that?
I do like it a lot. The one thing that I wish is that because there's this whole theme this season of like the greater the risk, the greater the reward. I wish there was at least one of those like notches on the spinner that was like, now you don't have safety at all. You know, like really like up the ante, like make it a really big of like
really
you can either save your whole team or nobody's safe.
All or nothing. I like that. I like that. I definitely did like the end of it that had like the 1, 2, 3. Like it's right because like I was obviously like saying, like give him 3 or give him 1. You know what I mean? Give him 3, make everybody say.
Oh, 2 is awful.
2 is the worst, right? 2 is the worst because that means what you really said here is that person 3 don't mean. Okay, like I ain't worried about losing you, not at all. Like it doesn't even matter, not even a little bit. Like I am good with losing you, and that is the issue with this. But that's what makes it so much fun, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I really, really love about it. I was definitely rooting for Bay to get 3. Happy with the 1 because we saved Xavier, right? We saved Xavier, and okay.
Alyssa really could have used that 3, but
Oh man.
Yeah, Alyssa really could have used it, but I'm sure he didn't know Alyssa needed it. Is the other who else is on? This is the Kings, right? Who else is on the Kings?
Sarah Beth.
Sarah Beth. She doesn't need safety.
She's fine.
They love her. I do want to know what people think about the phlebotomist, though. All right, Miss Tiffany, clocking in at 40 years of age. Oh, you do?
I love Tiffany.
I don't know. I feel like she's a bit of a rabble rouser.
Rabble rouser.
I just feel like she's gonna just start a lot of stuff. I don't know if I care for her attitude. Like I feel like when I'm watching the intro videos and everybody else, and then I look at Miss Tiffany, I feel like she's the one who doesn't quite fit the mold. Like everybody here is very nice, very likable, look like they just want to get on nice with everybody. And Miss Tiffany, I don't know. I feel like she's just in here to just shake stuff up. And I just feel like that's not the vibe of this season.
I mean, again, it's unfortunate that like there's so much stuff that hasn't been seen on the aired episodes, but she is a really smart player. Like she's really good at setting herself up with personal relationships. She's just really intuitive as to what else is happening. Like there was even a moment where a bunch of people were in one of the bedrooms talking, trying to see like before nominations happened, like what's going to happen, what are we going to do? And Frenchie, it was in like that segment where Frenchie was running around the house listening into everybody's conversations, like running amok. And she happened to notice that a shadow moved underneath the door to the bedroom. So she's like telling everybody, no, like keep talking, don't stop talking because that's going to make somebody suspicious. And she opened the door on him, listening to them, to which she pretended she was leaving and he pretended he was coming into the room. But like, she's just very all eyes everywhere of like, what's happening? What are you doing? What are you saying? Like just knows what's going on.
Okay. All right, John, write it down. Miss Tiffany, eyes on her. All right, you heard it
I can't
first.
wait to see how poorly my decisions age.
I can't wait to see her go home next week.
Oh my God. We're giving Tiffany the eyes.
Yeah, we're giving Tiffany the eyes because the feed queen said we should. But like, I would find it very entertaining if she went home next week. I'm not saying that she would. I have
I mean, I don't have a great track record. My favorites always leave early, I feel like.